Oh, jongens, guys. I survived the Halloween ranking. I survived my early rankings of On Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th, which were shit. I survived the Star Wars ranking with Nessie. I survived the Harry Potter ranking twice. Once alone, or last week, and the time before with Harry and Marijn. With Nessie and Marijn. And here I am back. Do another Star Wars ranking. Guys, first of all, love for Hufflepuff. I know I said last time love for Ravenclaw. I am a Ravenclaw, but yeah, I'm a nerd. So there you have it. Today I'm gonna rank down the Star Wars series yet again. Probably there is, well, to be fair, you will see less change in this ranking than you will see in Harry Potter the ranking last week. Spoiler alert, you won't see that much change. For the rest, I don't know which franchise I prefer of the two. But you know, let's rank them again, this time alone, and I will see what will happen. Yeah, without further ado, I don't know, let's just get started. And we'll see what happens. Coming at dead last is Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Guys, I'm sorry, but I hated this movie. This movie is a nonsensical and incomprehensible mess. I spent most of the movie not giving a rat's ass about anything happening because 80% of this movie is MacGuffin hunting horse shit. And most of that is pointless anyway, because, well, oh, we need to go here to find this, but before we do that, we need to go there and find that. And now we're gonna make Hawks and Rose dirty and make that pointless. Oh, I said Trooper now needs some money back, but that's okay because I need to back up his memory, so that's... So we give them back, so that was entirely pointless. I mean, oh, and this Agent Dagger apparently predicted with the second Death Star was gonna fall. Oh my god, I don't give a shit. I'm the Emperor and I created Snoke. Oh well, gee, if you could create an army of Force users, why didn't you do that from the start, you dumbass? This movie, I'm sorry guys, but this movie is all plot and no story. Appendix on all the buttered fanboys will bitch about The Last Jedi by literally throwing member berries into their goddamn faces. I'm sorry, but I never, and I mean I never left a Star Wars movie this empty and so pissed off. The Rise of Skywalker was a massive disappointment to me, plain and simple. I've seen it a couple of times by now, to try to win me over, and it's just not doing it for me. And please don't think I'm one of those guys out there saying, oh, Disney's killed Star Wars, why can't you see it? No, that's not me. I've been sitting here damn near praising all of these movies. I like The Force Awakens, I liked Solo, I liked Rogue One. That Jedi was I've been sitting here hoping that they would just stick the landing with this last movie, but they just simply didn't. They didn't even try. They just threw everything but the kitchen sink in our faces and said, well, that's your ending. Deal with it. Coming number 10 is Star Wars The Last Jedi. Yeah, these last two didn't change a spot, guys. I'm sorry. Well, to be fair, guys, I don't really like the sequel trilogy that much. I really don't. And let me tell you why this film just has the slight edge over The Rise of Skywalker. Okay, just this little bit. They at least try to do something different in this film compared to The Force Awakens, and the characters are more likable in this film as well. But that's about it. Rey spends 90% of the movie on this island with Luke, who doesn't want to train her at all, and acts like the biggest piece of crap in this movie, well, which is stated by Mark Hamill, I think, that he didn't like that at all and was out of character for Luke. Yeah, because Rey has this weird ass connection with his cousin Kylo Ren. We also get to know why Ben Solo turned into Kylo Ren and into the dark side of the Force in this movie, which was interesting and explains why Kylo Ren hates. Yeah, Kylo Ren explains why he is in so much pain and his hate. But to find out it was Luke who had wanted to kill him in his sleep just didn't work. I mean, don't get me wrong here. I mean, he forgave his father, who killed thousands of people, millions of people, in duty of the Empire, and he forgave him. But he wanted to kill his nephew in his sleep while just having a dream. I'm sorry, but that just doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. So yeah, I'm sorry guys, I know that there's another movie that will probably be at this spot for the most of you guys, but I can help to pick The Last Jedi here, I'm just sorry. At number 9 is, and to be fair, I'm picking them quite back and forth here. These three are backing each other back and forth here, but I have to go with Rogue One still. I just said that I like this movie, and I enjoyed this movie enough, but now I think I'm gonna get a lot of comments to me, but I can't help to say that I expected more of Rogue One, okay? I don't hate it, I just expected more. And I think that this movie has, and that's why I think the next movie has a slight edge above this movie. Because, I mean, I don't hate the movie, but as a matter of fact, I maybe like it even more than the next two entries on this list. The point with this film is that that they were dragging Jyn Erso back and forth between being, oh yeah, we need her, but we also don't trust her. That's it. Because she's the daughter of an Imperial scientist who created the Death Star, so we don't trust her enough to don't keep an eye on her, but yeah, we need her as well because she's the only one who can convince her dad to steal the plans and give it to the rebellion. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's just like, yeah, what the hell. Talking about this movie's characters, it has so many characters that I don't even remember. Actually, most of their names. I mean, I really didn't give a rat's ass about most of his characters. Cassian Andor what was a douchebag for most of the film, who is constantly bitching and walking in Jin's way. And trust me, I want to strangle him for most of the film. This blind guy was... This blind guy with the staff was funny, but annoying at some points. And for the rest of the cast, well, I really just didn't care at all, but there are some good things in this movie, like the end when Darth Vader is like killing and slicing, dicing like every rebel who helped to steal the plans of the first Death Star. Was awesome. The final battle was nicely shot, and the special effects were great, but just help me and help to win me over, and to this movie's credit, that much to be higher on the list. Moving on. Coming in number 8 is Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I really yeah, this is the part where it changes a little bit. I mean, like you said, guys, I don't really like the sequel trilogy that much as a whole. That's because for me, the story ended with Return of the Jedi. The sequel trilogy tried to have its cake and have it too. And although I think that the sequel trilogy crabs on the Skywalker storyline, I didn't really hate this movie. I mean, I really didn't hate this movie. Really. Matter of fact, I liked this movie enough. I mean, and it was... I think it was unnecessary. And it was a fresh start to introduce a newer generation to Star Wars. I mean, that was the whole purpose of this trilogy. Same as the prequels in the early 2000s. That was the whole purpose. I mean, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega were great in their leads, and the legacy cast with Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford were also so great and did a perfect job. Here we got to see the son of Han Solo and Leia, Ben Solo, got turned to the dark side of the Force and helping the First Order hunting down the Rebel Alliance and destroy all of them. We see that he noticed that there is an awakening in the Force, which is bullshit, because how the hell we didn't get anything in the form of Rey. I still don't know why they didn't introduce that twist already in this first movie, but and making Rey hunting Palpatine in The Last Jedi and anything, by training with Luke and then going hunting for Palpatine or something, but I digress. Rey has to find out what her powers are and what they can do, blah blah blah, and the final fight between Kylo Ren and Rey was very nice to see, to be fair. But to be fair, I still have some problems with this movie, and the biggest one is that they killed Han Solo in the most unceremonious way they could think of. And I know that Harrison Ford said that he would only return if they would kill him off, but yeah, I'm sorry, I just can't let that slip. Another problem I have with this movie is that, although I just said that this movie is a fresh start for the franchise, like I already said, it didn't need one. It didn't need one, you jackasses. You just want to make money. Disney just wanted to make money after George Lucas sold his company to Disney. That's all they wanted. They just want to make new Star Wars movies just to cash in on a franchise that already ended and should have put to rest after Revenge of the Sith in 2005. Although by progressing storyline of the Skywalker storyline, I mean, I don't care about Solo and Rogue One being there. I mean, those are stories in between the Star Wars storyline between Phantom Menace and Return of the Jedi. These 3 movies didn't make any sense if you think about it, and we didn't need them. I mean, like I just said, the Skywalker storyline already ended with Return of the Jedi. I don't see the point of blowing in a new life into a franchise that much. All in all, this movie was nice, but I didn't need this trilogy. I'm sorry. And number 7 is Star Wars Attack of the Clones. And trust me, I was picking these numbers 9 and 8 spots, and then this number 7 and 6 spots. That much. The only thing that holds this movie back on 6 instead of number 7 instead of number 6 is the dialogue. The dialogue was crap, and I will return on that in a minute, because now the movie this is probably the movie you guys have been waiting for, right? Okay, let me get this straight. The prequel trilogy is my trilogy, okay? I like this trilogy a lot in the Star Wars franchise, okay? Plain and simple. Yes, I know the dialogue is shit. Hayden Christensen's acting is not terrible, but he could have done better, okay? Let me get this straight. He could have done better. And it took long to see Yoda and lightsaber duel. Okay, but fair enough. But on the other hand, this movie shows us perfectly why Anakin is slowly turning to the dark side, because he has visions of his mother dying, and the emotional connection he already has, because he wasn't taken away from his parents at like age 2 or 3 or 4, where I know when they turn these babies into younglings. I mean, remember, Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi met him when he was 9 years old on Tatooine. He already grown emotional connection with his mother, and why would you blame him? To see him struggle trying to keep his head up and trying to keep his emotions in control, while also trying to not to give in on his emotions for Padme, is greatly portrayed here in this movie. But the good thing, and to be fair, Mace Windu in a lightsaber duel is also nice to see. But the good thing kind of stopped there. I mean, really, the Jedi Council are the biggest piece of crap out there who don't want to listen to Anakin and what he's afraid of. I mean, come on, Yoda already said in the Phantom Menace, and then they just gonna ignore that in the other 2? Obi-Wan is too sassy and just like, oh yeah, whatever. And Anakin's bitching so much about how the Jedi don't treat him fairly, although to be fair, I think Revenge of the Sith is showing us perfectly why he's saying that, but you know, I digress. So yeah, it's not a perfect movie, but I also don't get all the hate for it. Really, I mean, watch this movie. And watch this movie just for the way it is, and watch the trilogy as a whole, and I really think you can enjoy this movie enough. I mean, really. I think you guys are gonna like this one. Coming at number 6. Oh, you guys are gonna hate me so much. Is Star Wars New Hope. Episode 4. Yeah, I know. This is the movie that started it all. Okay, well, let me get this straight. It has great acting with Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Alec Guinness, and Mark Hamill in the leads. It also has some decent special effects, at least for its time. And I know it's dated, but still, and that's also something that keeps it on number 6, because the special effects are dated. Here we got to see Luke Skywalker teaming up with Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Ben Kenobi to rescue Princess Leia from the hands of Darth Vader and the Empire. Things get even a weirder turn when Ben tells Luke that his father was once a Jedi Knight and fought alongside him in the time of the Republic in the Clone Wars. Oh, really? I really want to see those faces in the theater in 1977. And when Ben said, "Yeah, me and your father fought the Clone Wars," and when everyone like, "The what?" What I like so much about this movie is, although you can say that the special effects are dated, like I just said, it still holds its ground above some of the more recent movies that came out. Still, one thing I kind of hated in this movie is that it was slow paced. Well, I don't mind the movie being a slow burn. I mean, Halloween and Alien are 2 great examples for this. And Harry Potter, but I really... This movie spent so many time with Luke on Tatooine and explaining so many things that it really drags the movie down a little. I think that they fixed that a little with the next 2 films, and I can get that this is a first Star Wars movie ever, but I think they explained a little bit too much too soon. Despite that, this movie is great and will remain a classic. I mean, guys, come on. If you guys really gonna think that this movie is hated. This movie is terrible. It isn't. It's just like the special effects are a little bit dated for that. And it's just like it drags the movie down for the first 40 minutes. But you know, fuck it. Moving on. Coming on number 5, and trust me, knowing which movie is coming is still coming, you guys are still gonna hate me. Number 4 is Star Wars: Return of the Jedi. Number 5. Well, I got to admit, this movie was originally my number 2 on the list. And for good reasons. You got to see Luke growing as a Jedi, Darth Vader's redemption, the destruction of the second Death Star, and the defeat of the Emperor. Although after rewatching it a couple of times, even very recently in last month, I noticed I have more problems with it. With this movie than I will admit. There are some things that are taking too long and could have been little shorter, like with A New Hope. I mean, the beginning with Jabba the Hutt took forever, and when that stuff was done, we spent what almost looked like ages to get through the stuff with these Ewok teddy bears. Oh, and the Ewok teddy bears are annoying as hell, but you know, I digress. All in all, I like this movie a lot, and it's nice to see that Luke finally got to save his father Anakin from the dark side and gave him the redemption that Anakin was looking for in the prequels. I mean, yeah, guys, this movie was really nice. I mean, I like it enough. And to be fair, yeah, if you haven't seen this or the original trilogy, then get the hell out of here. Just get the fuck out of here. Okay, moving on. Coming in number 4 on the list is Solo, a Star Wars story. Guys, I think I've never seen a Star Wars movie this underrated as Solo, a Star Wars story. I mean, I really enjoyed this movie because I didn't see it as a regular Star Wars movie. I saw it as a heist movie, but with a Star Wars tone in it. Yes, the Darth Maul cameo was unnecessary, and the backstabbing all around at the end was a little unbelievable and a little bit misplayed for me. Oh, but the movie overall isn't that bad. At all! The film tells the story about Han Solo and his girlfriend Kira trying to leave their home planet Corellia to have a better life. The plan doesn't work out completely as they hoped for, when Kira gets captured at the last minute when Han gets kicked out of the army. And when Han gets kicked out of the army and meets Chewbacca, who he befriends from the start, and the rest is history. We also get to see how Han meets Lando in this film and how he ended up with the Millennium Falcon. Trust me, I do hold this movie in higher regard than most of these movies because it gave me something that I wanted for a long time. Han's backstory. And to be fair, having Emilia Clarke in this movie is also a nice touch. I mean, I just adore Emilia Clarke as an actress. I mean, that's just me. You guys can hate this movie all you want. I enjoyed it, and I will die on that hill. Coming on third place, taking the bronze, is Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. And yeah, I know this movie tops list for the most of you guys, so calm your tits, okay? But like I already said, you guys, I like the prequel trilogy the most, which I will explain in a bit. But let me tell you why I like this movie so freaking much. Here we see Han, Leia, and Luke on the run of the Empire after the destruction of the first Death Star. Luke goes to Dagobah to train with Yoda and grows as a Jedi, and grow in his insecurities and emotions, while in the meantime Han and Leia meet Han's old friend Lando Calrissian, in Cloud City. When they find out that the Empire is already there in the city, they capture Leia and Han, freeze Han in the Carbonite, so Boba Fett can deliver him to Jabba the Hutt. It's so great to see that Luke finds out Darth Vader is his father, and I know it's a little bit cliche scene. I mean, and you see the emotional damage it's causing him. I mean, to know that Ben Kenobi lied straight to his face when he said that his father died. Right? There's not really anything I can say about this movie that hasn't been said already. I mean, this is a great film, and I would ask you to not only watch it, but watch all of these movies if you haven't. Trust me, you won't regret it at all. At number 2 on this list is Phantom Menace. The only reason this movie is at this list, or is at number 2 on this list, is because of the special effects. That's it. That's the only reason this one is number 2. If the special effects were more dated and a little bit better, this one would be easily my number 1 on the list. But can I just say why I have so many times said that I like the prequel trilogy most? I want to get my biggest flaw of this movie away, and that's that the CGI indeed is, and the special effects didn't age well at some points, and that's clearly shown. But for the rest, where do I begin with how much I love this movie? And why? Yes, there's a lot of political aspects in the prequel trilogy. I will admit that, okay? I will fight fair. But I think that's a key factor why I like this trilogy so much, because it shows you how the galaxy was operating before the Empire. Here we see the Jedi Knights Qui-Gon Jinn, played by Liam Neeson, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, played by Ewan McGregor, trying to flee with Queen Amidala from her home planet of Naboo because of the Trade Federation who invaded the planet. Their ship gets damaged and they strand on the planet Tatooine, where they meet a young 9-year-old Anakin Skywalker, who apparently is their only hope on getting the parts they need to repair the ship. I still don't know how that's gonna work out, because I was still sure there was still another guy on that planet who could do it, but I digress. Meanwhile, Qui-Gon senses a lot of the Force in this young boy, so he decides to take him with them to the Jedi Council on Coruscant. Can I just say that I think it's weird that they tried to save Anakin and didn't think like, oh, maybe we should go back someday to get his mom and take her here to Anakin. So Anakin does fall in emotion and hate and falls back to the dark side, anything. I mean, even Yoda says like, fear leads to anger leads to hate leads to suffering. Something that's really shown in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, which I will go to in a minute. I mean, and can I just say that they really wasted the best villain in this movie. I mean, they wasted Darth Maul goddamn much. I mean, you had the best villain of the entire franchise probably, besides Darth Vader in this movie, and he died by the hands of Obi-Wan Kenobi in the first movie of this trilogy. Or at least killed, or dies. He got sliced by Obi-Wan in his first movie, okay? Let's get this straight. He's still alive, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, I really think that they should swap positions of Maul with Grievous, or let Maul escape and die last. Oh, and the Duel of the Fates music is probably the best music of the series, but maybe that's me. Oh no, I guess I can't praise this movie enough. For me, it's the second best in the franchise. At number 1, you already guessed it, Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith. Well, let me get this straight. I think I've never seen an actor this underrated as Canadian actor Hayden Christensen in a long ass time. Everyone loves to bitch about his performance in Attack of the Clones, and although it isn't a steady performance, they overlook his performance here in Revenge of the Sith. I think that Hayden Christensen plays Anakin Skywalker perfectly in both films, and his chemistry with Ewan McGregor and Natalie Portman was fantastic. You really get to see the struggle Anakin has after the loss of his mother to lose another person he loves. This time, Padme, who he has visions yet again of that she would die in childbirth. You see the struggle Anakin has that he can't tell anybody what is going on with him, and that everybody is actually saying that Anakin just has to let go, and what finally pushes him to the Palpatine and the dark side. The final battle between Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi is probably the best in the franchise for the future of the galaxy. To see Anakin slowly transform into Darth Vader was probably one of the most satisfying things in this franchise. This movie is hands down the best in the franchise when it comes to action, emotionally and loyalty, and I will die on that hill. Well guys, there you have it. Yet again, my Star Wars ranking. I hope you guys did enjoy this. I mean, last time I did it with Ness, this time I'm doing it by myself, so I hope you guys like this. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and tot volgende week!